Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. And we've got a fun evening for you. Steve was going to do some grilling, but he said he didn't want to. He wanted to talk about tariffs and how they would impact the global economy and a recession, inflation, and we're just concerned about that. So that's what Steve...
If that's the case, I'm leaving now. I'm leaving now.
I think we will leave that those subjects alone. I think we'll concentrate on eating. So, so Steve Dibble is our executive chef, and so he's going to run the show tonight. I just get the fun of introducing this event, and we're so glad you're here. We're glad it's not raining. It's a far cry from the last few days. So, our department in sales and marketing has Krista Ansley. Where's Krista?
Right here.
Right here. So Chris is the one who's kind of, we've all worked on it together, but Chris has been the one spearheading and organizing all this for a while now. So, and then Barbara Alexander, who is our move-in coordinator. So Chris and I do sales and marketing, and Barbara inside, who did your name tags, is our move-in coordinator. She replaced Daphne Bean at the first of the year. She's been here a little longer than that. And so she's the one that helps everybody come in and pick their paint colors and their flooring and that kind of thing. So the three of us, I think, kind of have a good team. So I'm excited that y'all are all here. So I'm going to turn it over to Krista. I think, the only other thing I wanted to say is that we really want everybody to stay for dinner. Obviously, dinner is on us, all the residents who are here, as well as all of our guests. So you're our guests. Yes,
Can we stay the night?
you can't stay the night. I've got the Discovery Apartment book, but see me, you can do it another time. You would definitely be welcome. So, but yeah, stay for dinner. Drinks and dinner are on us. So the whole point of this is just to be here and enjoy and see what a great place it is. So let me turn it over to Krista, and I'll get out of the way, and then we'll get started.
We want you to have fun tonight. We want you to relax and have lots of fun. So I don't have the voice, Will does. Can you hear me okay? All right. So the restrooms are inside if you need them. You're welcome to go in and out. We have the bar open and chips and salsa inside if you need something before dinner. Watch the grill demonstration. Learn a lot from Steve. He is nationally certified in many different areas and very renowned here, and we love having him here. He's a great teacher. You'll learn a lot tonight. As a treat, he has shared these recipes with me, so I may share them with you. I will at a different time. I'll share the recipes with you. We want you to know the videos are going on our YouTube Live. We do have a YouTube channel here at Scotia, so after the fact, you can go back and watch the grill demonstration again, okay? As well as residents who are here, let your friends know you guys can watch it later. We have a gift table right here by this door. Please pick up a gift on your way out as our little token of appreciation for coming out tonight, and enjoy yourselves, okay? Anybody have any questions for me? Everybody ready to see what Steve has? So as far as dinner, what he is grilling tonight will be part of the menu in the Magnolia Dining Room. So you may have this along with other entrees and sides as well, okay? We want you to stay for dinner and enjoy. We have residents ready to sit with you and tell you all about Scotia, okay? Everybody have fun.
All right. Thank you, Krista. How's everybody doing? Good. Well, it's an honor to have everybody here tonight, and it's a pleasure to be able to do things like this and show the expertise that we have here at Scotia Village. I've been here now going on 6 years. It'll be 6 years in June. So I came from Scotland High School. I taught the culinary arts program at Scotland High School for 15 years before coming to Scotia Village. Also have various other experience in the industry, but that's the most recent, and that's where I'll stick instead of going into depth on everything that I've done. But it's an honor to have y'all here. Welcome to Scotia Village. What I want to show you folks tonight is a balsamic marinated grilled tuna steak with grilled polenta and a grill roasted carrot. So I'm going to go through all the steps in preparing it and making it. starting with the vinaigrette, going through to the polenta, and going the whole process. We're going to do it kind of just like a cooking show because I may go a little bit quick. But if you have questions, please holler them out, answer questions. I may ask for some interaction and ask questions, things like that. So be prepared, okay? I want to make it fun. I want to make it interesting for you, okay? So to start off, of course, we have to get all of our stuff together. I did just like a cooking show, so all my stuff is already together, so I don't have to sit here and do a lot of work to get to that point. But what I'm going to do first is we're going to make the vinaigrette, which is going to be the marinade for the grilled tuna. All right, I've already got my tuna sitting on the side over here, ready, waiting to get soaked and get on the grill. So does anybody know how to make a vinaigrette from scratch? No, okay. All right, so vinaigrettes is just a basic oil and vinegar type dressing. It's usually made with 2 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. Now it can go a little bit more, a little bit less. It depends on your own taste. But on average, you know, the general rule is going to be 2 parts oil, 1 part vinegar. You can use different types of vinegars. You can use different types of oils. You can use all kinds of other ingredients in it. Okay, so I'm going to start off by making the vinaigrette. So in this nice little cup here, I have my balsamic vinegar. There's 1 cup there. Now this is probably a whole lot more than what most would use at home. I'm used to doing quantity, so you know, it might be a little bit more. But all the ingredients that I'm showing you tonight and the way I'm making everything here tonight, and then in the recipes that would come along down in the future will be for roughly 4 to 6 people. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going to go. Now, what I'm going to do is grab my whisk over here, and what I'm going to start doing is I'm just going to start whisking, and I'm going to drizzle my oil in. What I want to do is I want to create a little bit of emulsification, taking 2 ingredients that don't normally mix and bring them together. Okay, so I'm going to do that real quick. Get that first one in. It's pretty simple. You don't have to do it real slow, but at the beginning you want to get it to start to hold together. Otherwise it's tough to get that vinegar to blend with it. Because just like oil and water don't mix, oil and vinegar don't mix well, so we have to get it brought together. So I don't know if you can see up there, sir. This is an olive oil blend. So I've got that all blended together, real simple. And then what I have going in here is a little bit of salt. Maybe about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon of salt. About a half a teaspoon of pepper. I got about 2 tablespoons of nice fresh chopped rosemary. About a tablespoon of oregano. A tablespoon of thyme. And a tablespoon of basil. So I'm just going to bring those together, whisk them together. I don't know if everybody can see that. Some people on TV probably see a little bit better, but I'm going to bring that together. At this point, you would taste, see if you need to add any additional salt and pepper. You can adjust it to your own taste. You want more salt, put more salt. You want more pepper, bring more pepper. So this is just a basic vinaigrette. You use different types of vinegars, different types of oils, Italian, whatever, Italian vinaigrette, Italian dressing, so forth. I've even added a little bit of Dijon mustard into dressings like this to give it a little bit different flavor, and it also helps the dressing hold together. All right, so that's how easy a vinaigrette is. People hear vinaigrette, vinaigrette, and you see it on TV, you see it on the, oh man, I can't make that. Well, sure you can. It's not a problem. You can make things like that. All right. So I got that done. Now I have my trusty tuna. All right. I already got it all ready to go. So what I'm going to do here is, what I want to do is I want to marinate this tuna for a good hour to 3 hours. Okay. Now it's not a good idea to marinate a lot of fish overnight. Okay. Fish is a naturally tender meat product. Okay. So it's going to tenderize really quick. Okay. Unlike beef, beef has real long muscle fibers in it, which take longer to break down. So when you marinate beef and pork and things like that, the muscle structure takes longer to break down. Where fish, the fibers are shorter, so it doesn't take the fish as long to marinate, and you really don't have to leave it in very long. Okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour my marinade right over that. Just enough to cover about 2/3. And then I would take that and put that in the refrigerator, let it marinate for up to about 3 hours. The tuna that folks we're doing tonight for in the dining room has been marinating for about 3 hours. Okay, so that's your vinaigrette. That's marinating now. So now I get on to the next thing, which is the thing that's going to take a little bit longer, is going to be the polenta. Does anybody know what polenta is? It's an Italian-style grit. It's a real coarse cornmeal. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one that's got fresh rosemary in it tonight. And then we're going to grill it. Okay, so I have a pot of water boiling over here. The proportion of the grits or the cornmeal portion of it is 2 cups, or a 2 to 1, or 4 to 1, I'm sorry. So it'd be 4 cups of water to 1 cup of grits, so forth. So depending on how much you want to make. All right. I'm going to steal my whisk from here. All right, so I just got my water boiling already, and then I'm going to just, I don't want to dump my grits in there all at once because then they're going to clump up. Get a little bit in so you can get it mixed up and start to get it smooth to keep it from clumping. You don't want the big old clump of cornmeal stuck in the middle of your cake. So put a little bit in, get it in. Just gradually add it in. So now we get that going. So now here's the fun part. Here's the fun part. You can't just let it sit. You have to stir it. Okay, well, I'm only one-handed. I don't have another hand, so I can't do something else at the same time, at least until it gets going. And then I can stop, go, stop, and go, stop, and go. As soon as it starts to thicken up, I'll turn my heat down to a low simmer, and that's when I can really stop stirring. So I'm just going to let that sit. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the after I get it to that point. So after I get it up to thick and I get it cooked and I get it to the tender state, what I do is I put it in a small pan like this or a pan like this and just pour it in there, and I let it cool down some, and then I put it in the refrigerator overnight. It gets nice and firm, gets nice and hard, and then it turns into a polenta cake. You could do this with regular grits. You have leftover grits after breakfast? Well, why throw them away? Put them in a pan, get a little form, put them in refrigerator. Even put them in a bowl, cut them different shapes, diamonds, quarter, whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to take this one here, and I'm just going to put this one out on my cutting board over here, and just drop that right out. And then I'm just going to slice nice little Italian grit cakes or polenta cakes. So you can see how that just holds together. Okay, you can do this with regular grits after breakfast now, so don't throw them away. You can do other things with them. You can add different types of flavors to them. They can be savory. You could even add a little sweetness to your breakfast ones for the next morning's breakfast. A little brown sugar, a little bit of syrup. You know, heat that little grit cake up in the morning, a little sausage or bacon right along with it, and drizzle some syrup over the top, and you got it going. Okay, so that's our cakes there. All right, now once your polenta is cooked, once it's up nice and tender, it's going to be nice and thick. As it cooks, it gets thicker, just like cooking your grits in the morning. It gets thicker. And now I'm sure everybody in here can cook grits a lot better than I can, but I'm originally from the north, so I didn't have a whole lot of grits. All right, so you can see I'm getting nice and thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour that right in my pan here. We'll move that off to the side. And then this I would put in the refrigerator overnight. Okay, this is going to go in the refrigerator overnight, and it'll look very similar to what I got here. Okay, so now I'm going to move this out of my way. Move that vinaigrette out of the way. I don't need that at the moment. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw together a mango salsa that's going to be going on top of this. Okay, I'm going to do a mango salsa. So I got my bowl. I've got mango already chopped up. You can buy it in the store already diced. You can buy it fresh. You can buy it frozen. You know, whatever is easiest for you. If you like the fresh and want to fight with the mango, all the power to you. I prefer fresh. I got some fresh cilantro, some lemon juice, and some red onion. Now you can add green pepper, red pepper, or other things into the salsa for additional flavor and additional color. Okay. Now the key with the onion is not to leave it really big, is to cut it nice and fine and nice and small. The fun part of getting the little skin off. Try to get my mess out of the way. Say again? Hi, everybody. Those inside, come on out. All right, so I'm going to do a nice little fine dice. I'm going to go sideways. Just go about 3/4 of the way through my onion. And then I'm going to turn and do a little cut. Going the other direction, only going 3/4 of the way through. And that's going to hold my onion together. And then I'm just going to do like nice little slices right down. Now I probably have about 1.5 cups worth of mango here. So I only need about 3/4 of half of that onion. I don't want the onion to overpower the mango. So I'm going to take and put that in my bowl. I'm going to put my mango in with the onion. Nice fresh cilantro. You get nice fresh cilantro in the store. A lot of people fight trying to get, and you roll it up in a little ball. You put it on your cutting board. And then you don't have to sit and chop for 15 minutes trying to get it in tiny little pieces. So you're going to take and put that right up in there. So that's the cilantro. Then if I had red, green peppers, diced peppers, again, you don't like to cut, you're afraid to cut. Okay, I know my mom doesn't cut. I know my mother-in-law doesn't cut very well. Their knives are so dull they can't even cut butter. Okay, sorry if you're watching, but they know I'm telling the truth. All right, so, all right, just mix that up a little bit. Then I have just a little bit of pepper. I'm just going to put a pinch of pepper in. A pinch of salt. And then this will take about maybe 1/4 cup of lemon juice or lime juice or both, half and half, both, whatever what you like. You could even do some orange juice. So it really doesn't matter. The juice, the lemon juice and the lime juice is just your acid. Just helps cut down a little bit. And that's just the very basic, simple mango salsa. Okay? So I'm going to move that to the side. Now comes to the carrots. I'm doing a grilled carrot, so carrots take quite a while to cook on a grill. So you peel your carrots, you get them ready, you know, and the best thing to do is put some boiling water and blanch them, partially cook them for about 5 minutes. And then run cold water on them, stop the cooking process. And then all you got to do is take and roll them a little bit of oil, a little salt and pepper. You could do fresh chopped garlic. And then you just put those carrots on the grill. It won't take them 30 minutes to cook on the grill. You just want to get them heated all the way through. So we'll put those on the grill. Now, how long has my tuna been marinating?
3 hours.
3 hours. Okay. 3 hours. Here we go. 3-hour marinade going on right here. Okay. So I'm going to take my tuna steak. I'm going to put it right here in the middle. Make sure your grill is nice and hot. Okay, that way it sears and starts a process, what we call a Maillard reaction. It's the natural browning and natural sugars in the product. Okay, so now what I got is I have my polenta. And I'm going to put my polenta right here. I'm just going to let those cook. Get nice color. Now here's a little trick to help move things along a little bit sometimes. You see you got some wind going across your grill. You want to get that isolated a little bit. So you just take a pan and lay right over the top. That's going to keep the air from going across the top of that. And it's going to get a little bit hotter. And it's going to work like a little small oven right on top of your grill. Okay. Now the tuna, you're going to let that cook. You don't want to move that tuna. What thing? Okay. Good protein. Yeah. I mean, they eat iguana. Why not that, right? Yeah. Why not a gecko? All right. So as far as cooking the tuna, what you want to do is, you know, tuna is served rare traditionally. Now, some people don't like raw fish or to be still looking not cooked in the center. Well, that's okay. If you want to cook it a little bit more, that's up to you. But you go to a restaurant, you're going to order tuna, expect it to be a good medium rare to a rare. Okay? That's where you're going to get the most flavor out of a tuna. That's where you get the most flavor. Okay? And a lot of times it also depends on the type of tuna. So you're looking at about 3-4 minutes on each side of the tuna. Okay? Now, as the polenta is going, now does anyone know when to flip? My grill is cranked at high right now. So I'm probably running about 450, 500. Okay? Because you want to get that nice sear on it. If you get down too low, then what happens is all the natural juices start coming out. And it's not going to maintain its moisture. You need to seal those natural juices in. Okay? So now, that polenta is not wanting to move yet, so I'm going to leave it alone. Okay? I'm going to leave it alone. Your food is ready to flip naturally when it's not sticking to your grill anymore. How many of us have fought trying to get that burger up and trying to get it flipped to cook a little bit faster because you're hungry? Yeah, we all do it. I'm guilty of it myself, and here I am telling you not to do that, but, you know, I got to push things along sometimes. All right? But, yeah, it will naturally unstick itself. Okay? So if it's going to move easily, see that moving nice and easy for me? So that's going to tell me that tuna steak is ready to flip. And I probably guessed about right on 3 minutes there. Same with the polenta. You could brush the polenta with a little bit of oil. Drizzle a little bit of oil. This has enough stick to it. So I'm just going to flip that over. While that's continuing to cook, where'd my little towel go? I'm going to clean off my board and get ready to plate. Now, I know I made this look real easy, right? Yeah. I won't tell you the amount of preparation time. I mean, preparation time putting all this together, you know, as far as prep time, doing the mango salsa, cutting everything, getting everything ready and doing everything, I would say you're probably at about 30, 45 minutes of prep time. You have to make the polenta. That takes good 20 to 30 minutes to cook. You have to cut your mangoes if you're getting fresh mango. You have to get your dressing made, you know, and we're all busy and we all don't just stand at the counter all the time. You've got a phone call you got to take. Now you got to go take care of that. Now you got to go back and, you know, what was I doing? Okay. Things like that. So it might take a little bit while, but you know, I guess about 45 minutes prep time for this whole meal as far as prep goes. Then you probably got another 15 minutes of cook time altogether. Okay. All right. So I can get my board cleaned off. Check my carrots. Sorry for the noise, especially on the microphone. Get the carrots. Get them to roll over. Now, when you blanch your carrots, you want to blanch them so they're still a little bit firm in the middle. You don't want them real soft, because if they're real soft and you go to recook and we reheat them, they're just going to fall apart on you too much. Okay, especially they're going to become a crumbly carrot. You might have mashed carrot on your grill by the time you get it off. Okay, so you just want to go fork tender, and then when you put them on the grill. Okay. See, my tuna's still sticking. I can't pick it up. It's not ready to move yet. So I'm just going to leave it alone for a second. Polenta's still going well here. Now the polenta, all you got to do is get that heated through. You want to make sure it's good and hot, and you get it heated through. I can tell that's 500 degrees because I'm having a hard time keeping my hand over the top. I'll bring it a little bit closer. I always do a couple extras in case one breaks, but it's not a big deal if it breaks because you still make it look pretty afterwards, so it's not a big deal. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plate. Now, most of us just put all of our stuff on the plate. Okay, I'm a chef. I got to make it look pretty. Okay, because we all eat with our eyes first. And if it looks good, 90% of the time, I'm not going to say 100% of the time, 90% of the time, if it looks good, it's going to taste good. Okay? Now here, 100% of the time, Scotia Village, our food is good. Okay? No one laughed at that. So, yeah, no one laughed at that. You know, where's my resonance? 93? Okay, well, I'll take that. Yeah, we do the best we can. We work with all the freshest ingredients we possibly can, and cook from scratch as much as we possibly can. We change our menus drastically all the time. Our menus are always changing. You're never going to see the same thing. You know, we change our menus every week. And then it might be a month, 2 months before you see that same item again. We do our favorites. We do our favorite of meatloaf. We do our favorites of Salisbury steak and so on, and the favorites. On about 4 to 6 weeks. But
you don't remember me?
I remember your face.
Yeah. You know my sister Joanne Smith?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
I told her I have once a month here.
Yep. And most of the time it's a different item that you're getting. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull my tuna off. That should be nice medium rare. I'm just going to pull that off, set that up there in the corner of that pan. Why am I sitting on the pan? So it can rest. I want all those natural juices in that tuna to naturally come back out. Okay? Just like a steak or a hamburger or a pork chop or anything that you're cooking on the grill. When you take it off the grill, you always want to let it rest. You want all those natural juices to disperse back into that piece of meat. Because when it's exposed to high temperature and high heat, that protein, the meat itself, is coagulating. It's getting tight. So if you take that off the grill, that protein is still nice and tight. Your muscle is still nice and tight. How many of us have grabbed the hot pan on the stove without a pot holder? And you tend to grab it a little bit tighter before you let go. Well, it's the same concept. If I grabbed on this grill, it's making that muscle tighten up. That heat is making that muscle get tighter. Okay? So, and all those natural juices are just balled up in the middle. So you got to let that steak rest. You got to let that tuna rest. Let those natural juices come back out. Okay? And just let it rest. Now I'm going to pull off my polenta. I'm going to place the polenta right here on my plate. One that way. I'm going to put one this way, right on top. And then I'm going to put another half right there in the middle. I'm going to take my tuna steak that's rested, rest it right on top. And then I'm going to take my carrots, I'm gonna lay one right across there. I'm gonna lay another one down here on this side. And then the piece of the resistance is our mango salsa. So I'm just gonna take that and just lay that right over the top. And there you have it. You have a balsamic marinated tuna steak with Italian grilled polenta with fresh rosemary and grill roasted carrots. Thank you. For dinner tonight in the dining room, we're serving the same item.
Wow.
Okay, so you're getting the tuna, you're getting the mango salsa, you're getting the polenta, and you're getting roasted baby carrots. So it's all going to be same in the dining room. So hopefully it's as good in the dining room as this looks right here. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I appreciate y'all being here. It's been a pleasure to be able to do this for y'all, and I hope to see all you in the future.
Thank you.
All right, thank you much.
Thank you.
Great job.
I can turn